Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Good afternoon. It's Sunday, nice and sunny today. Didn't start out sunny, right babe?
Right, now it's nice and sunny
What
right
are
now.
you up to over there? You look like you're pretty busy.
I'm just trying to stay on top of the chats here.
Mm.
Make sure to say hi to everyone. Cammy's here, Proverbs 31.
Jeannie is here.
She is
That's
here.
Proverbs.
Yes, that's what I kind of assume. It's a 31 is a woman's Proverbs chapter.
Mm-hmm. Proverbs. A lot of people don't know what that refers to. The Proverbs 31 woman.
Mm-hmm.
She goes out and gathers her materials. Something. How does that go? Cammy's here. How does it go? You're looking it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
She goes and gathers her material, and that's what Dan's wife, when they got married, she put that in her vows, right?
She did.
Yeah, she snuck that in there because she's a crocheter. She was like,
well, why don't you ever talk to her?
Well, we will discuss that later, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Why I don't talk to her. My husband has a friend, and because he has friends who are married, he somehow expects me to be friends with their wives. But it doesn't work that way, right? It's not always the case. Like, I have friends who are married, and my husband is not necessarily chummy with them, those husbands. Are you?
No.
No. See how that works?
Yeah, but you have something in common. You're both crocheters.
I know, but I mean, like, I have
serious crocheters.
Speaking of crocheters in common with, did you know that there are like 10 or 15 celebrities, big celebrities that crochet? The obvious one being Vanna White. Of course, she crochets. She's got her own yarn. This is the Squirrel Raid. Okay, Jeannie says she shops around for the best yarns and cottons and enjoys knitting and sewing.
Mm-hmm.
Linda's here. Heather's here. I'm glad you could come in the house, Heather. I don't know how you got locked out of our building, but somehow, babe, remember that one time her song creations and I couldn't figure out why?
Yeah.
Well, oh my gosh, Granny D and Dana helped me figure out how to look at my list of people who are blocked and people who are moderators. Ursula's here. Do you know, babe, it's late for Ursula, and she's here. What time is it, Ursula, by you? I can't look at my phone.
Is she the one in where's Ursula?
She's in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
She's the Rigby lady.
Oh, okay. Cool. We have Leanne Craft Room from Australia. She is here for the first time. Welcome.
Oh, Australia. What time?
I think that's pretty much just... No, it's not. Either way, I know they're hours either ahead of us or in front, behind us. So... welcome.
There's I'm trying to
Squirrel Raid from Granny D. Thanks, Granny D. And Granny D is here too, right?
Granny
yes,
D.
she is.
Hook me up with Christy is here. Christine Johnstone is here. Is Granny D here?
I don't know. I thought she is.
She's probably on her way.
You know, Dina's Yo-Yos.
Dina is here. When I get off a live, it's hard for me to switch onto somebody else's live because usually after my live I have to go like to the ladies' room or have to get a snack or something and have to take care of personal things before I can switch over. It's after 10 p.m. here. Okay. I'm glad you can make this live. My first live that you came on, that was an early morning live. And we figured this is a better time because there's a lot of people who go in the morning, and this seemed to be like an empty spot, and it worked out for us because okay, yeah, sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you themselves. I don't know why. Navy Freak, is that Navy Freak Crochet and Craft with AJ? Well, let's just call you AJ. Welcome. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, and today we got up and we decided to go to church online this morning. That was fun, right? My husband did a good deed. He finally, after 3 years, found again the Amazon Fire Stick that he bought, and he connected it to our TV in the bedroom. So now we can finally watch TV in the bedroom. And I know you're not supposed to, especially if you have trouble falling asleep, but I like to turn it on in the morning and watch my morning news. You know, my friends, as I call them, my Larry Potash and Robin. Jen Reeves is here. Tiger Dragon Girl. I think she's talking to you. Yeah, there's Granny D. Babe, I think Tiger Dragon Girl.
Or the birds?
Is that meant for you?
Yes, her budgie.
Okay. Because I don't know what that means.
Her budgie says hi. I don't know how to say hi in budgie, but.
Oh my gosh, the birds, the birds. Okay, so on the news, you know, they have these little tidbits of news. One of the tidbits they played on Friday was that after the pandemic started, there was a surge in bird watchers, new bird watchers. There was, of course, babe, you were a bird watcher before the pandemic, right?
Yes, I was a bird watcher before the pandemic.
But now there's newer bird watchers, and there's a trend of people are buying bird feeders and bird baths and bird seed and hummingbird feeders.
Yeah, that's what they say. Since the shutdowns, people have been bird watching, and which is true. I have a Facebook group of Illinois bird watchers, and the admin mentioned that we've never had, and this is like the most. We had a surge in membership in our Facebook group, and I mean, you could tell there's a lot of new birders and bird watchers, and you know, because I mean, there's no stupid questions, but a lot of times they ask kind of question that you could tell that someone's new into bird watching. So,
like you probably did.
Yeah, at one point everyone was new.
Yeah, I remember when I was new to crochet, and I didn't know what certain things were, and then like I was talking to a young one of the neighbors yesterday, and she crochets, but she's only 14, and I told her that I had to frog something, and she's like, what's that? Like, you know, you when you rip out the work, frog. And she's like, oh, I never knew that was what it was called.
All right, so let's say hi. Up. Our room is filling in a little bit.
Yeah,
we got
Sarah's
Granny
here.
D's here. She just
Nancy's
took her break.
here.
Yes. Right, and we have. Let me see here.
Like I said, hi to. Oh, I didn't see Debbie Loves Yarn. Debbie Loves Yarn. Hello.
And we have a new visitor also, Linda Bishop. All right, it's her first time here, checking out other lives.
Welcome, Linda.
Linda's here. All right, so.
Hello.
Debbie Loves Yarn, that's fine. Working and lurking, that's the theme. We work and lurk too.
I want to show everybody something, my progress on my temperature blanket. I've done 85 days.
Everyone's saying hi to everybody.
Of 2021. So on this side over here, no, I'm sorry. On this side over here is the beginning of the year. So January, you see that cold snap, long cold snap. Wasn't that, babe?
Which one?
See the black, all the black yarn?
Right here, the black stuff. Right.
That white is really cold.
This right here, the white one.
Yeah, that's like 1 degree. That was our high.
And the black was what?
Below 8 degrees. All those days, the high was below 8 degrees.
Oh, these right here?
Yes.
Yeah, there was like a 2-week period or somewhere. It was in the single digits.
I mean, it's just crazy cold.
Yeah, right.
And then it's getting warmer. Wait, am I going the right way?
Where are we supposed to be now?
So we're here. This was a couple of days ago. So I have a couple days to catch up. But that is it's warm. It's like the warmest it's got The warmest it got was like 68
You
degrees.
can actually 68 degrees.
68 degrees.
It's crazy though. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And then now we had really an early spring. The spring came early, and a lot of the
Yeah. But
birds are migrating north now again. Migrants.
I mean, spring can come early all at once, but it can take. It takes spring takes days off. Spring takes a lot of sick days in Chicago. A lot of sick days. Don't you agree? It'll be warm for a few days and then a cold snap. And so your body is so used to the warm that it just goes cold, a little bit colder, and you're just aggravated enough to just be in a bad mood. I've got maroon, which indicates our hottest days. So my January and February are filled with maroon stripes. So Ursula's got like opposite weather that we have. Wait, but it doesn't really get cold there in South Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dana's
Hi, Triple
here.
C. Yes, she's here.
Dana, hi.
Hi.
Thanks, Cammie.
Alrighty. Well, it looks like she's Laura's been working on her temperature blanket also this weekend. It says.
Yeah, it's nice to get a few get a few days in one shot.
Did you work on a temperature square before too?
A temperature square.
Something like that. Something
I
with
did.
temperature.
I did granny
Related.
squares.
Granny squares.
Hmm.
Do you have those somewhere? You want me to grab them?
No,
No.
because
They're put away.
I'm a little ashamed of that work. That was when I was new and I was using the wrong kind of yarn for that stuff.
Really?
Oh, everybody's talking about their weather. Okay, Ursula says, I find it admirable how supportive hubby is to help you and spend time with you in your life, like how Joe supports Dana. Well, Ursula, this was his whole idea, so he better support me. This was his idea, and he kept pushing me. Do a little YouTube channel. Do it. I'm like, no. And then the pandemic started, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
So, and I said, you're going to help me. You're not just going to leave me out here in the dark. Besides, when I say jump, he says,
Oh, hi.
mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I tell my husband, jump. He says,
I can't. My back hurts.
no, that doesn't work.
My back hurts.
Debbie says it's 19 degrees. Wait, where are you, Debbie? Debbie, where are you? Ursula shouldn't be that sleepy though, because it's only 10 p.m. Sometimes I stay up to 10 p.m. Sometimes I stay up to midnight watching YouTube. So once in a while, I guess it's okay. But she does have her live in a few hours. She goes live in my morning, but not her morning.
Better mouse.
It's a matter of
Alaska. She's in
perspective.
Alaska. That's why.
Oh God.
There were some points there in our winter where we were colder here in Chicago than in Alaska. So everyone's saying hi. Thanks for coming in.
Hello. Ursula is saying it doesn't really get cold, but it seems cold. Yeah, it seems cold. Just like I was saying, after we get days in the 60s, and then it goes down to low 40s. You're like, oh man, it's so cold. But if it was low 40s in January, you'd be like, it's warm out today. So exactly, Ursula.
Yeah.
A cat couch. Dana's working on a cat couch. For what? Are you getting a cat? Or are you just making it just to make it? I was making a temperature blanket.
That's funny with okay, go ahead.
What?
Navy Freck Crochet says if she makes a temperature blanket, it'll be 2 colors because she lives in San Diego. My sister lives in San Diego, and at one point I lived in Northern California in the Santa Clara or San Jose area. Same thing, just sunny, And at some point, I remember one time I was outside and something weird happened. It was cloudy.
Mm.
And I'm like, I never even noticed that. Wow, it was like the first cloudy day in like months.
It's like relief.
I'm like, this really happens? This cloudy days happen? But yeah, I could understand in San Diego, yes, and I guess Northern California. Yeah. So anyway,
Oh, Linda, I'm just reading Linda Bishop's comment here. She says she admires all the ones who have YouTube channels. She just didn't know, wouldn't keep at it like you. Honestly, Linda, I'm just hoping to keep up at it. Sometimes I think, what did I get myself into? This is because I guess you have to be a lifer once you get into the YouTube world. You can't quit. I mean, I know I used to be a fan. I used to subscribe to a YouTube channel, and one day, I mean, they would make so many cute videos every week. Such cute. It was called Key of Awesome, and they would do parodies of music videos. And then one day he just got on and he said, I'm done. I don't know if I'm just taking a break or I'm quitting for good, but I gotta stop for now.
yeah. But really, what we're here is just hang out. You know, we're talking, spending Sunday afternoon, or at least for us, it's Sunday afternoon over here. You know, used to be my Sunday afternoons are spent either watching baseball or
Football.
sports or something, or you know, or in the summer we used to. You remember those picnics or whatever activities in the summer?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of sports, your team lost. They're out, right?
Yeah, they are.
Loyola?
My school, I went to school.
Mm.
They made it to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA basketball tournament, and they lost. But that's okay.
Look what Lori says.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We got this again. Look at that. Nice area. I am a dude. No offense. It rains here sometimes.
Yeah, it does. But when I was in
AJ is a dude. Sorry, AJ.
Yeah.
We do that sometimes.
Right. Well,
David is here. Hi, David.
David Brown
He
is
says,
here.
"Howdy."
Thank you.
David, I saw a commercial. I was letting you play. Are you tired? You've been running. You've been running in my computer all weekend on my laptop. I just X'd you out after you being on there since Friday morning. You've been running. So I gotta.
And for those of you who don't know, what is running?
Well, when you let somebody run, you go to their channel, you click on videos, and you press play all. And then you lower the volume, you like the video, you comment, you can walk away, come back every once in a while, see what video's playing, like it, make a comment. You know,
And it just helps out the
it just helps their hours.
Yeah.
It helps. It costs you pennies with electricity, you know. Maybe a dime it might cost you,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're you know, our world has evolved. You know, we went from going out on Sundays, and our world has changed. Our lives have changed. Going out on Sundays and doing things, and now we're here doing YouTube Live. But you know what? It's fun. This is fun. Thank goodness. What we would do without technology, right?
We go nuts.
We would go nuts, you know. And we just rediscovered Amazon.
I know
Fire
Amazon. Amazon
Could you
Music.
imagine with all this, you know, they did all this without all this, you know, we'd be going nuts.
I can play Tetris on the TV, babe.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
I that Fire Stick has a lot. I mean, Amazon Music, you could let the music play, and then it puts the lyrics on the screen. Debbie says, wait, that disappeared. She used to do YouTube on a different channel named Nothing to Do with Crochet. I closed up one day and never went back. I even deleted the name. I did it for about 1.5 years, and she is so done with it. My brother used to have a YouTube channel. I mean, he still has the channel, and he used to make videos, and very funny videos. but he just gave it up. He should get onto the TikTok train. I think he'd do good because I see a lot of kids his age, not that he's a kid, a lot of people his age making videos. And I'm like, Tony could do that. So, Tony, if you're out there watching, get on the TikTok train. Yeah, I like to watch lives during my crochet time. I did want to let you know about one thing. I mentioned this on my previous live, but I will mention it again. As you can see in the description, we're talking giveaway, we're talking potiversary / YouTubeversary, tubeversary. March 30th. You know what March 30th is? Marks my first ever hook crochet video that I made. And that video was me showing this ridiculous micro germ, whatever it is, that was all over, and it's still.
Can
all
anyone
over.
tell what that is?
Everybody knows what this is. I think nobody can be confused as to what this
They
picture
might not.
is.
They might not. Even I had to think about it, think twice.
Really?
Yeah,
Then you don't watch a lot of TV.
I do, but I mean not as much. But can anyone tell us what that is? All right.
Uh-huh.
I mean that what it represents. I mean what it's kind of what Sandy's rendition of this thing that's been, I guess, popular.
I mean,
Yep. Debbie Loves Yarn got it. COVID-19. That's the virus
COVID-19. I'm like, I was seeing this so much. I'm like,
on TV.
I bet I can crochet that because I become my grandmother. My grandmother would look at everybody's clothes or everybody's hats or scarves.
But it's the
and she
symbol
would
for
be
the
like,
COVID-19. That's what they were showing. There's a description of it.
I know, but I'm saying she would be like, I bet I can make this. But this sign was on TV so much. I'm like, I bet I can crochet that. And I did. I just like memorized how it looked. It's a different COVID germ. I just dyed some yarn for the same reason. It's a COVID germ.
It's a COVID germ, right?
But it's different.
Yeah, this is the COVID virus. See, everyone's recognizing it.
Yeah.
David said he saw is it origami?
Amigurumi.
Oh, what the heck?
That's the 3D that I was talking to you about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. They even have actually things now that they can make 3D like things. Like it's like a fax machine, but it makes it long stuff. Whatever. I'm not even talking about it.
Granny D said she didn't know what it was because she lives under a rock. Granny D, you probably don't watch news as much as I do. I watch a lot of it just because I have a personal relationship with my news anchor people in the morning. I've been watching them since I was pregnant with my firstborn son, who's going to be 25 this year. So, and they're still on, and they still look the same.
Yeah. Nancy said you could turn it into a hat.
Turn it into a hat.
That's a good idea.
Oh my gosh.
Or a placemat.
Yeah. Well,
put something hot on it so you can kill it.
I had actually was looking at a lot of granny squares in books and online on videos, and I finally came across one. There goes my light.
You know what? You don't need it.
I came across one from Yarn Utopia. What's her name from Yarn Utopia? What's her name? Nadia from Yarn Utopia. One of her squares that she made 1 year, 365 days of granny squares. I don't think this was one of the 365, but I'm like, that could probably be. And I'm like, it worked out. Zero news. That's good for your mental health, Granny, not watching news.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Same thing. Oh gosh, maybe for 6, 7, 8 years. Who knows? Even now, up to now, I don't watch the news. You know. But anyway, yeah.
This message is for you.
Amigurumi is Japanese for stuffed toy, I believe. So that makes it 3D. Japanese people just come up with
Japanese people are smart.
Well, they just come up with I guess, most creative stuff.
They're very creative, very smart, very clean.
Unlike the Chinese, they just copy.
Babe.
Well, no, I'm Asian. I can say someone gets changing people.
Asians can
Yes.
say that. Okay.
Yes.
But my channel,
true.
this is my
It's- we
channel.
all know that,
My
you know.
house. I'm not Asian, so
Sorry, don't want to turn this into a race thing. It's
no.
true, though.
But last night we watched the most politically incorrect old '80s movie that made fun of Chinese people. It was like so bad. Today it would be canceled. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
That
I think
movie
so.
would be
There's a lot of stuff would be canceled.
Canceled.
But,
was
you know
so-
what?
I
It's our
think-
past.
That's why all the people who were watching it thought it was so funny because we got away with that back then. We let that go in the theaters, But today it would
People
be.
didn't even think twice about it back then.
Yeah, it was. The movie was called Big Trouble in Little China. Have any of you seen that movie? If so, let us know. I've never
But
heard
I think
of it
they
before.
purposely saw it because it was just like we had our old friends. They put together just a little small gathering, and they wanted to watch a movie, but they wanted to watch a stupid movie. A movie that's really like funny,
It's so stupid. It's
stupidly funny. Obviously, stupidly funny.
Like Napoleon Dynamite
Yeah.
and Borat is another movie. You're like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That would never happen in real life. So that's funny.
So, anyways, can anyone name any other stupid movies that they know? What other stupid movies that we know of? There's a lot of stupid movies out there. Especially 80s, 70s, and 80s has just come up with the most stupid movies.
Heather's
They're dumb.
husband used to own that movie.
Really?
She says, yeah.
Well, there's a cult following of that movie. Not cult following.
Jeanette is here.
But there's like I guess, just like Napoleon Dynamite, there was people started wearing these I vote for Pedro t-shirts.
Yeah, my kids had it.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
there's a message for you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Tiger.
Tiger Dragon. You don't know him like I do. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was the prom king, so
You were the prom king?
yes.
Well, you should get
That
that
was
picture
cool.
so I could show it on
No,
here
I'm not
with
going.
his scepter, his gold jacket or something, whatever.
All right. So yeah, I got, Kung Fu Hustle and Shanghai Noon. I've never seen that one.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen that one?
No.
Yeah.
Zach is here.
Uh-huh.
Maribel's here. Okay. I just want to say that Granny D was showing some yarn. You probably didn't see it, babe, because you were looking out the window. Granny D went to the dollar store and got yarn from the
Mhm.
dollar store.
Yeah.
I don't know that our dollar store carries yarn. I've been in a few lately. I've never seen yarn. I did see other things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just so cool to get yarn from the dollar store. I don't know why. There's something cool about it. Oh yeah, Ursula, I saw that movie Nobody. Nobody reminded me about. Did you ever see Falling Down with Michael Douglas, Ursula? It's the same thing. Like he has been the underdog for so long, and then he just has a bad day, and it's just the straw that breaks the camel's back, and he goes all. Owen Wilson was in Shanghai Noon with Jackie Chan. Tiger Dragon Girls has seen the movie. It's one of her favorites. Yeah, okay. I didn't know what movie we were going to see. I knew it was going to be an 80s movie. So I was excited. And then I'm like, what is this movie? Of all the movies, we could have seen The Breakfast Club.
Well, but they wanted to laugh at the.
They wanted to laugh. Yeah.
Right. So and then what other somehow all the Saturday Night Live actors, all their movies are kind of stupid, don't you think? All the ex Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Like Will Ferrell.
And the movie called Pat. Remember that movie called Pat? It's Pat.
Yeah, it is.
So we didn't know whether a Pat was a he or a she.
All right. So yeah, Whisper has to go. She has a phone call. All right. So everyone's still coming in over
Okay,
here.
Barb.
We've got some people over here right now. We got 22
Oh.
likes. We got 28. We were at one point we were at 30. So if we could hit that like button, but
That's good. I mean, we have good numbers. I mean, no, we could do better. 22 likes, 28 people in the building.
yeah, it was kind of yeah. Adam Sandler, right? David Browning. He's got some. Yeah,
Yeah, his movies are not that
He's
stupid.
had some good
Like
movies
the one
and
where
stupid
he
movies.
had to repeat school. He had to
I
go
like
to
that movie.
kindergarten,
That's
first
one of my.
grades. What was it?
No. The one 51st Dates is one of my good.
That one, but I'm
I like
talking
that
about
movie.
what's the one where he had to go to kindergarten and then first grade and second
Oh
grade
yeah,
and third
right.
grade. That was kind and then he fell in love with the third grade or fifth grade teacher or something like that.
All right. Well, Aaron loves Will Ferrell. Yeah, like I said, and not specifically Will Ferrell, but a lot of the ex Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
actors.
Will Ferrell's Elf.
Happy
It's one of the
Gilmore.
greatest.
Thank you. It's Happy Gilmore.
Elf was a good movie with Will
Yeah,
Ferrell.
that's a good movie.
Granny D says the Craft Your Square yarn I showed today is so much softer than it was when I first found it. I had to check it out again. After Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches was doing a show and told about that. I wanna one day, but I don't go into the stores a lot, so it's a no wonder I haven't come across yarn from the dollar store. But Jeanette lives in my city. Have you ever seen yarn in our dollar stores here? Or have you even looked? But I'm telling you, I all of a sudden, babe, got so hungry before I got on here.
You did?
I don't know
You
why.
had the munchies.
I had the munchies.
Okay, so the movie you're talking about, all right, they're talking about there on the chat, someone say Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
Billy Madison.
Yes. All
Happy.
right. That Navy Frex or Freak said that. All right.
And Happy Madison is the name of his production company, so it merges those two names. Ursula says she's in the bedroom on her laptop, so hubby wants to sleep. He gets up early in the morning. Okay, good night. Good night, Ursula. I'll see you in my morning. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Heartsong says 51st Dates was the hubby's first date night movie for like a year. Yeah, I love that. I like that movie. That's a good movie, actually.
It's a good movie.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, very
Right.
well written. What's your favorite part in that movie?
Well,
51st Dates.
spam and eggs is what I remember.
The spam.
Because that's what we had for breakfast today. Spam and
We
eggs.
have spam and eggs for breakfast.
Yes.
I like the part where they first meet and they're both dancing on each side of the van, and the van pulls out, and they both catch each other dancing. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, I remember that part. The beginning is good. And what's his name is good too. The brother.
The brother.
He's pretty good over there too.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's
Rudy.
Rudy.
He
He's
played
from
Rudy.
Rudy.
Yeah.
That's they Drew and Adam did a reunion when COVID without lockdown first started. They did a reunion, and it was like Adam Sandler was telling Drew Barrymore who she is, again, like he would have to tell her every morning who she is, so check that out on YouTube. The 51st Dates reunion, but not now. You stay here. My favorite part is where she's in the garage painting and the dad is showing him.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty
yes. 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 I like that part.
And then Elizabeth said her first date movie was Big with Tom Hanks. That's another good movie.
I love
There's some good movies in the 80s too.
Yeah.
I mean, plenty of good movies. There's some stupid movies and there's some good movies.
Yeah.
That's one of the good. What's our favorite 80s movie?
I'm on camera, so my brain always goes to mush when I'm on camera.
Well, I
You
think
gotta
it was.
tell me.
It's
Well, I like The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, right. That's a good one.
And I like
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I like anything with her name is not Claire, but her name is Claire on the Breakfast Club. Miley Ringwald.
Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, Pretty in Pink. But there's another one where she gets pregnant.
I
I
thought
don't
it was on 80s stars. But you are one of the 80s movies that we like was really not technically just made in the 80s. It was Groundhog Day, right? Wasn't that in the 80s?
No, it's 90s.
It's
92. Beetlejuice is a good movie. Winona Ryder. I love Beetlejuice. Even the Heathers. Heathers is a good movie. Has anyone seen Heathers? How about you, Heather?
I've
Have
never
you seen the movie
I
Heathers?
never even
It's
heard
a
of it.
dark comedy. Who's on there? That guy. Who's on here? One of the 80s Brat Pack. The bad boy is on there. Oh man, what's his name? But Winona Ryder is on there.
Number 5.
Heather, you never saw Heathers. You gotta see Heathers. Risky Business. You have never seen the whole movie of Risky Business.
Hey,
16 Candles. That's a good movie.
Big. They actually redid it this year, but it was a female version. Remember?
Yeah, and it's called Little.
Really? Who was in
The
it
girl
again?
from Blackish.
Yeah.
The girl from Blackish. She plays. It's kind of a reverse. So she goes from being big to being little.
You don't have a cup.
I don't have my water because I was munching. Back to the Future is good, Christy. I was munching on those chips, and then Charlie Sheen was at the 80s. No, Lori, it wasn't Charlie Sheen, but it was close to Charlie Sheen. He was from Heathers. Somebody Google it. Come on, Cammy, where's Cameron? Cameron, isn't he my Google guy? Winona Ryder was in it. Yes, Charlie Sheen. No, not Charlie Sheen. Some other bad boy, and I can't remember if he's still alive or not. But I think he had a drug problem. The actor. Somebody. Christian Slater. Thank you. Christian Slater. Yes. Heather got it. Christian Slater was on with Winona Ryder and Shannon Doherty and somebody else. And these girls were all named Heather. And they had this little club. And oh my gosh. That was a good movie. For Keeps, Tiger Dragon Girl. For Keeps is the one. From Kevin Bacon. Yeah. I forgot that was Kevin Bacon. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kevin Bacon. It just made a TikTok the other day. And it made our morning news. What was the TikTok about? I think he was making eggs or something. Jeanette is working and lurking but listening. That's good. That's okay. Not an 80s movie, but I like Wild Hogs with Martin Lawrence. And what's his name? I don't know. But anything with Martin Lawrence, I will watch. I like Martin Lawrence. He's a good actor. I like him a lot. Nancy doesn't watch movies. I don't watch any newer movies. Very rarely will I watch. Like I watched I think the ultimate 80s movie is Coming to America. So we did definitely watch the sequel of that. And I like the original, love the original. And I guess it would be very hard to, the bar was set so high with Coming to America, the first one, that, I mean, it was difficult to get up to that level. Don't you agree? We're talking about Coming to America.
Yeah.
Coming to America. The bar was set so high with the first one.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times that's the trend too. It's like there's not. I mean, a lot of times the sequels are not as good. A lot of times they're rushed too. Obviously, Coming to America, it wasn't rushed. It took 20 years to make.
30.
30, yeah.
Over 30.
But talk to them about our experience yesterday. I about why we're talking about movies. We went to
a private screening room.
so it's
in
a
the
theater. It's a movie theater, but
So it's a private screening. So all the seats were sanitized and everybody was, you know, they were big, like almost a couch for each person. So there's a lot of room, and you know, masks were optional. We of course have to have ours on, you know, and
so it was
the
a
theater makes money, I guess, because they charge. What do they charge? $25 for a beer.
something like that. But the concept is different. I mean, it's a regular theater, but it's like I guess adult kind of theater because they
A smaller.
more
room.
because they serve alcohol, they serve fancy
Yeah.
bar food or whatever. And then this one they have, of course, they show regular whatever movies that's out the current, but here it was like a party room, and we brought our own DVD. Dan bought that DVD.
I know.
Right.
I know. That's his DVD.
Right, that's it. The
I know
Blu-ray
that.
player. So you give it to them and you play it, and they
Mhm.
play it in their little theater while you're talking.
I would love to watch our like. Well,
Something good.
it was good because there was a lot of sound involved in that movie.
Well, it's like a theater.
So
right.
the stereo was boom, you know, a lot of.
But-
That's what's nice about watching that in the theater.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sound, not like a
sound effects. It's good.
I mean, not like a just a like
Like a
my
theater.
cousin
It's
Vinny.
theater.
My cousin Vinny wouldn't have a lot of sound
Yeah.
going on. Not a lot of music, not a lot of fight scenes. There was a lot of fight scenes which made for a lot of sound, and that boom is on in the theater that you just feel it in your bones.
So that was a different concept. It was fun. We had a lot of fun, and it was a lot of people. That was a bunch of our friends. A lot of us grew up in the '80s, and what's kind of goofy, not goofy but funny. My friend pointed it out. We have
Surround sound.
no,
Yes.
no, that's not what's funny.
Somebody chatted.
Surround sound. But anyway, what's funny is if anyone who's our age will relate. But we had like a trivia question and answer thingy that we had some games, and half the room had reading glasses.
Yeah.
So when everybody, if you're
We all
over
grew up in
40,
the
you could understand. But it was goofy. Everybody just a lot of people our age. There were like 20 people there.
When Dan
Everybody
said that,
whipped out their reading glasses.
when Dan said that, I whipped out the bird. I gave Dan the bird.
So anyway, so let's go back over here, Tiger, for key. Let me see, Risky Business. That was with Tom Cruise. I remember seeing that one. Back to the Future. Hook Me Up Crochet said Back to the first Back to the Future.
Wait,
you know what?
Hold on. Cammy is saying Steel Magnolias. Yes, Cammy. That's a good movie.
That's a chick flick.
Oh, well, apparently not, because Cameron's a guy and he watches it. He's got a sensitive side.
I watched it too with you.
You just got to give it a chance.
Yeah.
I watch guy movies with you all the time.
That's why I never knew that Heathers movie. All right. Back to the Future movies I like. Those are all good, I think. Charlie Sheen was in the Brad Pack of the 80s, correct? I forgot who. Oh, look at that. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they even made in Disneyland. They even made or Disney World, they made like a part for it.
That was like 27 years ago.
Yeah.
On our honeymoon.
And then they had, what do you call that? I like Indiana Jones, I like.
Also, almost 30 years.
So you're talking about, see how we talk about, we watched different movies growing up, me and you.
Yeah.
Right. For Keeps is where Molly Ringwald plays the character, but she gets pregnant.
She gets pregnant. Kevin
Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're kind of behind in the chat, aren't you?
I am a little bit,
Yeah.
but I'm just going back. I just want to make sure we talk about everybody. All
Hook
right.
Me Up Crochet with Christy says Beaches. That's.
Ooh, I like that one. That was a chick flick I watched and I cried.
Did you cry?
I cried.
Did you cry? Because there
The
was a
Wind
death.
Beneath My Wings. I did watch that. I don't know where I watched. Maybe I watched it on TV.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, who's in it? Maya. Who? Get Maya. I already said it. Maya Belief. What's her name? She played.
Mayim Bialik
Yeah.
and Barbara Hershey and Bette Midler.
Yeah, but Maya played the young Bette Midler.
Yeah, she played young Bette Midler.
Yeah, that was a memorable
Footloose,
performance.
that's a good movie. Heather says that her husband's mom used to have steel magnolias on while she would clean when he was little. So I can only watch it when he's not here. Oh, because he's sick of it. Now see, my husband. Now your mom used to not put movies, but put certain music on, right?
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers and who else? Who else?
Yeah, I used to listen to Kenny Rogers. Well, she put all kinds of music.
What's his name?
Even like a lot of. I
I'm
don't.
drawing a blank now.
Yeah, well, anyway, we're still talking about movies here. So yeah, Footloose, Apollo 13. That's another good movie. I don't know if that came in the 80s. I think those might be 90s movie. Apollo 13, Armageddon. I think those are maybe early
Those are
90s.
90s.
Field of Dreams, I think came out
That's
maybe late, very late 80s. You know, Dana loves beaches. Dana, we gotta watch it when we all get together. We'll put that on, have some popcorn,
Yeah.
and some tissue.
Twins. Tiger Dragon Girl. Twins. You like movies I like, Tiger. Twins. Oh my gosh. I watched that movie. I wore out the VHS tape on that Twins movie. I remember we got that free as a gift for buying something. We got that movie and Big Business we got. And I watched that all the time. Another movie I watched was Purple Rain. I watched that every night for a whole summer. Purple Rain.
Does anyone like crochet now and watch movies?
There's a thing, a movement on YouTube where you crochet during a movie that starts with A and you make a video about it. And then you watch a movie that starts with the B and you crochet something. I'm not too familiar with it, but a lot of people are putting videos out. Crochet movie, C movie, crochet, something about that. Oh, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Was that 80s? I thought that was the 90s. John Denver wrote Sunshine on My Shoulders.
I used to listen to John Denver too. My mom used to listen
John
to that.
Denver.
Right.
And James, what? James, what's his name? Hey,
What?
what's that singer? That singer-songwriter. James Taylor. James Taylor. Yes. That's another movie. So I mean, what I was trying to say, Amadeus came out in 85 when I was in grad school for music. One of my teachers called it a Fantasia on Mozart's life. Sorry about that tapping. So sorry. That's something that my son would probably say that his.
So in other words,
professors-
David is not really accurate then, right? Which is a lot of I guess movies about certain people. A lot of them are not accurate. But yeah, I don't know this story Mozart, but I kind of like. In fact, it made me listen. Made me interested in Mozart, that movie.
Lori says, was Batman with the Prince soundtrack the 80s? What? This is one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite movies. Was Batman with the Prince soundtrack the 80s? I'm not sure I follow you. The movie Purple Rain had Prince, came out in the 80s, and Prince's music was the soundtrack for that movie. Batman. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. It's hard with chat. You know, I was on the chat conversation with my neighbor, and we were going back and forth, and my neighbor decides I'll call Sandy because we couldn't understand each other. So I answered the phone. Yeah, it's not the same when you're texting.
Well,
Thank you for my water.
Well, show them what it is. I thought you used to do up. You used to
Mhm.
do right.
Give me a chance, babe. Give me a chance. I'm only one woman here. This is from Bass Pro Shop. I like this mug. It looks like an old, tin cup that truck driver might use or fisherman might use. It's made to look that way.
I don't even know where we got that. It's been a while. I think we got it as a filler.
What?
I said I don't even know where we got that. I mean, when we got that.
Oh, because I was like, you don't know where we got this?
No, I know. I said when we got it.
Hmm.
I don't know when we got it.
The movie Batman that had the music done by Prince. Jack Nicklaus was the Joker in that one. Okay. Yeah. But I didn't watch that movie. I'm not into Batman, but I know that Batman that year it came out was a big deal in our amusement park. They had a Batman ride, Batman the Ride, and they still have that ride.
So yeah, so Tiger Dragon says, yeah, Hollywood butchers history. They sure do. But you know what? I mean, it's typical. I mean, even the news. This news is sensationalized in a way. I guess they got to get rate. They got to keep people interested. Right now, I got two red-tailed hawks flying around over here just above me.
Are they headed for Spain?
Oh, they're not red-tailed hawks. I wish I could whip out my camera. But anyway, yeah, they're like doing a display over here. I think they might be mating. But anyway, so yeah, they do. Hollywood does butcher history. They
Lori,
do. They got
I
sensationalize
get
it a
those
little
two
bit.
mixed up too. Jack Nicholas and Jack Nicholson. I get them two mixed up. When Jack Nicholas was winning golf, I was confused. I'm like, when did he start golfing? Jack Nicholson, Jack Nicholas. Like, when did he start golfing? Yeah, they change. They twist the facts, Tiger. Twist the facts. They still do that now, I think, with the news. They take the facts.
Well,
they put a little dash of salt and a little pinch of pepper. Vice versa.
The most recent movie we saw was about the lead singer of Queen.
Yes.
Was that sensationalized? How about
was a good
Elton
movie.
John recently? His movie was that sensational? Was that like?
But I mean, Elton John had a lot to do with that movie, and Queen. I think the other members of the band had a lot to do with that movie. But I think there was one movie or autobiography, or not autobiography, or documentary about the Queen of Soul. What's her name? You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Respect. Aretha Franklin, who was also a crocheter, by the way. Aretha Franklin, her family, like boycotted that movie, and they said it wasn't accurate, and they didn't even consult with them. Like, the makers of that movie didn't consult with the family. So, I mean, it's not always accurate.
Well, yeah, I mean, they gotta keep it interesting. I guess. Mm-hmm. They make a movie about my life, and it won't be interesting. So they got to sensationalize my movie. Well, I guess you could say it could be the highlights.
Thank you. Yeah, Aretha Franklin, who's a crocheter, and like I said, there's a lot of famous crocheters. I had that up on your in one of your tabs. Do you still have that open? Famous crocheters. Let's see if I can remember.
No, I don't have it anymore.
Well, see if you can get it back up. Yeah. I looked up. The movie Batman was released in 1989. Soundtrack for the movie was written and performed by Prince. I can't even remember any songs from that because, like I said, I didn't watch that movie. Yeah, 89. Whew, that was when I got my first job in 89. Yeah, my first job, Dairy Queen. We went to Dairy Queen the other day, and They're still doing that, where they take the blizzard and they turn it upside down.
I missed it too.
And my husband looked away, and she did it. I'm like, oh, thank you. And he goes, I missed it. I'm like, that's okay. I'll do it for you, since I did it over and over as a job. He's like, I didn't know you used to do that. I'm like, you knew I worked at Dairy Queen. You can't expect movies to be documentaries. They serve two different purposes. Yeah. But so this Aretha Franklin documentary was allegedly incorrect, according to the family. Roy was a freshman in 89. You dropped out of 2 grad schools in 89. Oh my gosh. I'm still working at my very first job. 36 years later, Maribel is still working in her first job.
Wow. That's
What if you
amazing.
still worked at White Castle to this day? Which was your first job, wasn't it?
Yeah, in a way.
Oh, your first job in the States? No, your first job. No, it wasn't your first job in the States.
No. It was my first real job.
But I thought you worked in California before that.
No, I was working at White Castle before.
And then you moved up to what, California?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let's circle back to a few things we were talking about.
Okay, that's the phrase of the year. Circle back.
Circle back.
Let's circle back.
So you were asking me about the celebrity.
The celebrities who crochet.
Aretha Franklin, of course. Vanna White, we already mentioned.
Vanna White.
Jane Seymour.
Wait, Jane Seymour was
Yeah.
the. Jane Seymour. What was she?
Jane Seymour is Jane Seymour from the 80s. I mean, she's Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour played in. What? What did Jane Seymour play in? She's the lady with the accent. Who else then?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, the queen of acting.
Yeah.
So she crocheted.
Deborah Messing.
From Will and Grace, Deborah Messing. She crocheted. I like to watch TV and see if I could spot any crochet work. Like there's one crochet. There's a blanket.
Well, everybody knows a TV show where there's a crochet.
Well, Roseanne.
Roseanne.
Yeah, but I just watched one the other day. They had crochet in the background, and I know. Wait, what was that movie where they had crochet in the background?
So, well, maybe someone will remember. Does anyone else do that? Does anyone else like with me when I'm watching a movie?
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. I knew it had something to do with medicine.
So with me when I'm watching a movie and I hear a bird, I'm watching a movie or a TV show and I hear a bird, I'm like, okay, well that's a cardinal or that's an oriole or that's something. That's a house sparrow. So and then same thing with guns. I used to be a gun aficionado, but whatever. So I'm a hunter. Anyway, so when I see a gun, I try to see what it is. Oh, that's a Glock or that's a Smith & Wesson. So I'm sure there's other people here who are like that, who can see the crochet, who eyes the crochet.
Was that movie last night? I think it had crochet in it.
I don't remember.
Crochet was in Friends, an episode of Friends, a few episodes of Friends, where Ross caught Rachel dancing after she got out of the shower with no clothes on because she thought she was alone. And then she covered herself. No, that was Chandler who caught her. Chandler. She was coming out of the shower. I know what I was watching the other day that had crochet in it. Give Me a Break. Anyone remember that TV show? They had a nice big crochet blanket, not at the house, at the parents' house, at Grandpa's house. They had a crochet blanket.
Well, Lori says she worked at Dairy Queen also when she was 15.
Mm-hmm. And she knows about the dilly bars and the Buster bars. I remember making those early in the morning, making the dilly bars.
And Maribel also says she tries to spot any crochet stuff when she watches a movie or a TV show.
Yeah, it's just what you do. Your brain goes to that crochet.
Yeah.
And you stop paying attention to the story.
Yeah.
You're like,
well, I still pay attention. Like I said, it's the some people I know. Speaking of 80s movies, sometimes, and I like cars too. You know, I mean, like old cars, like Jeeps and old 4x4s. And in the 80s, is like I see some old cars, you know, that would be like classic cars now, or you know, it's like wow, look at that. I was mint condition back then, you know, so I spot for that too. So
And like Young Sheldon, they have their crochet items on display. But then what's more, they have the older cars there too, because it's set in the, I think it's set in the 90s.
but you know, I mean, it's
George Clooney started out on Gimme a Break. I remember him from Roseanne. But I'm just now binging some Gimme a Break because I stumbled on a YouTube channel of all names. It's called Gimme a Break, and it's only Gimme a Break. And it's like no commercials. It's just nice to watch the whole show. But they go from the beginning. They play the whole music before the show, the whole theme song. Daigo is here. Virtual hug. I hope virtual hugs don't go away because I like virtual hugs better than real hugs. Don't you?
yeah. Well, it's kind of, you know, I don't know if people are still, you know, I mean, I don't know. Yesterday we had, like I said, we had our first like get together since COVID, and it's kind of weird, just not trying not to shake people's hands
It
or
was weird because
right or hug it.
even getting ready, I felt weird.
A lot of our
ready, like
a lot of
getting
our
dressed
people are huggers, you know, and
to go out. Yeah, a lot of people were huggers, and I was like,
okay, well, we can't do that
do
anymore.
I touch your elbow? Do it, you know, whatever. But some people just, well, forget it. I'm gonna hug no matter what. Some people just gonna hug no matter what. David likes to watch modern TV shows and
That's
movies.
pretty good. Now that's gonna be, I'm gonna be doing that too, David.
What?
Actually, you know what? There's some where you watch, you know, older
The
or
cars
newer
are
movies that depict an older time. You know, they actually some people have YouTube channels about movies that are, you know, like they criticize or they look for something in the movies that's not, you know,
like not in. It's not.
let's say if
accurate.
it's set in the 80s,
There's some mistake.
right? There's mistakes like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I tend to see like edit mistakes, like stuff that should have been edited out and it wasn't. You know, like in one scene, the girl will be holding a cup of coffee, talking, and it switches to another person. It switches back to her, and she's talking, and then it switches to another person and back to her, and she's got the coffee in her hand. So obviously there was some edit mistakes. Not that I'm an editor in extraordinaire. My videos, I have a tough time editing.
we got a $1,000 phone.
Sometimes I over edit my videos.
Well,
do you know?
I do the same thing with my pictures. Sometimes I over edit when I take a picture and I go on Photoshop or I go on Lightroom and I spend half an hour trying to make it look sharp and better, and then there's a feature there that shows it, you know, before and after. And sometimes my before is not much better than my after. I'm like, oh wow.
And before you know it, you're like this.
Yeah. Right.
And you haven't breathed in 4 minutes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see here. Do you think people have taken up bird watching during COVID? Do you think people have taken up crocheting?
Yeah, people have come back to crochet, if not learned it, you know, but a lot of people came back to it. Like they put it down for a few years. Remember that 70s show? They used to eat Krispy Kreme donuts all the time. But Krispy Kreme had not reached the Midwest in the 70s. Well, I never noticed that. I didn't watch that show a lot. I don't think I've seen one whole episode of that. Yeah. Of that 70s show. But I know the mom who's on it played the teacher who married her student on Friends as an adult. He was an adult already, but they got together, remember? And then they had triplets through Phoebe. Mm-hmm. basket. Oh, you have baskets, also things to go in the baskets. Very good. I let me get back to that. Let me get back to it. Thank you, Daigo. Because in the beginning, I was talking about this. So it's my tube anniversary. Help me stay on track, babe. My pot anniversary. 1 year ago, I made this my first hook crochet video, March 30th. Okay. Then the next day I made another video. And then I got into Veda, video every day in April. So I did like 32 videos in a row, having just started as hook crochet. So to celebrate that, I am going to have a giveaway to celebrate my anniversary with YouTube. Okay. The giveaway will be one of my big, beautiful baskets. Would you go get one so I can show the people what I will be making for them? I use Red Heart Super Saver, or I use a Karen Big Cake for this. So you can either have a variegated version, or you can have a solid color, or you can have a cake. Okay, so here he's coming with, hold on, wait, stay there. This is a Karen Big Cake basket. So it's made, and it's made, the colors come out how the cake is on the roll. So I can make it with that using a Karen Big Cake, or I can make it with variegated yarn, so it kind of looks kind of a little wild. And I don't have a solid color, but I have made a solid color, so you can do that
So
one.
you're gonna make a basket for the winner?
I'm gonna make a
A
basket for the
custom
winner.
made basket.
Custom made, as much as custom.
How many yarns are you gonna make it? How big?
Pretty much that big, that average size.
Okay, well, how
big.
many yarn things? 3, 4, 5?
Well,
Gotta have a limit.
the
Can't
variegated,
make one with 100.
yeah, the variegated yarn. When I use that, I use 4 strands of yarn at the same time. So I would be using 4 skeins of Red Heart Super Saver and variegated. Same with the solid. Red Heart.
Variegated?
Yeah, that's a bigger one. That was made, I think, with 6. I got a little crazy with this. So the winner will not be getting this big of a basket, but this was made, it's very strong. So it's made with 4. And look at, I got my breakfast here. So it's very strong. This is what it would look like, a little smaller than that. Or a solid one, or one made out of a Karen Big Cake. And the Karen Big Cake is made out of 1.5 big cakes. So, I mean, we're talking, it's pretty good retail price of this. David, I might go on Easter live just because we're not doing anything special. Yeah, we kind of celebrate Easter every Sunday, don't we? You know, we think about the Christ who has risen, and we acknowledge that every Sunday. So our Easter, now that the kids are grown up and there's no Easter baskets, it's not really anything. And my parents don't live here, so especially now with COVID, you can't go anywhere, and I don't eat ham. So basically, yeah, I can hang out on Easter unless something comes up, and I'll let you guys know. But the basket will be for the winner of the giveaway. I'm going to make a short video and post it either tonight or tomorrow, explaining the rules of the giveaway and what you will win.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to repeat everything I just said.
Whose pattern was that?
That is Jada and Stitch's Big Beautiful Basket pattern. And that was one of the biggest projects I first made. That was one of the first projects I made, like bigger projects.
Which one is the first basket you made? You want me to grab it?
Oh, no, I don't know where it is.
You haven't made a basket in a while.
I'm in the process of making a basket right now.
Oh, yeah?
It's on my whip cart.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were talking about your anniversary. I cut you off.
Okay, wait, hold on. David is doing a marathon live next Sunday. So if you want to send people over to me once your live is finished, David, what time are you going on? I will gladly do that. I don't want to, step on your toes or anything. We obviously could be live at the same time. I won't be live for a marathon, that's for sure. But I will send people to you for sure. I'm going to send people to you now. If you don't have David Browning if you're not subscribed to him, you should, because he's a smart dude and he crochets. Man, I wish I had a real life friend who crochets. That's a man, a real life, not just virtual, but I actually need, okay, it starts at 3 Central or 3
Eastern. I think he's in Eastern.
He's
right?
in Eastern, so
Right. So 2 p.m. our time.
so 2 p.m. Our time. Okay, so it'll be during Granny's, and then I'll be on. But then you're doing a marathon, so obviously you're going to be on for many hours.
And we will make sure we will put it on.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, because David Browning is gonna do what Crystal did for him. He's gonna be our PR person, like Crystal is his PR person.
Mm-hmm.
When David's a big YouTube name, because he's already getting up there. 3 Eastern. So okay. I forgot where he is. Do you remember where David is?
Somewhere east of us.
Like Massachusetts?
Yeah, so somewhere
something
east.
Like that.
Yeah. So you were talking about your padiversary?
Podiversary,
and what else are you?
Tubiversary.
So that's your giveaway right there?
Mm-hmm. That's the giveaway, and I'll throw some yarn in the basket, so it won't be just an empty basket.
So what do you think? How many? What do you call that?
Skeins? How many skeins?
How many skeins will it take?
Well, like I said, the Red Heart Super Saver takes 4 skeins of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
The Karen Big Cake takes 1.5 skeins of yarn. So retail, it's a good value.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to know. What the retail plus your labor.
North Carolina. Plus my labor. But it is a labor of love. But it's not like I would, be able to constantly make them. Could you give me those
But you know
gloves over there?
You know what you gotta do now? You can't say this doesn't come from a pet-free home anymore.
Yeah, well, it might come from a pet-free home still, because I don't know when I'm getting the puppy. I know I won't be getting him for Easter, which wouldn't have been cute if I made a basket and put the puppy in it, and that would be my Easter basket. A basket with a puppy in it. I would like a bucket of puppies. When are you going to get me that bucket of puppies?
It's coming.
I want a bucket of puppies.
People don't know what bucket of puppies means.
A bucket of puppies is just a bucket of puppies.
Oh, what? Where do you get these bucket of puppies?
I don't know. Heaven? Maybe there's.
Where did you get this bucket of puppies?
Bucket of puppies?
Is this something you thought about?
I never had got my bucket of puppies.
Okay, so explain to them what is a bucket of puppies.
It's a bucket with puppies in there.
Why would you get a bucket of puppies?
Because I like puppies. You know how when you asked me, do I need anything from the store? I said yes. Get me a bucket of puppies.
Yeah.
So these gloves. Anyway, I'm just joking.
Puppy in a basket.
I know there's no such thing as a bucket of puppies.
How about a puppy in a basket?
That's what I said before, the bucket of puppies. I said puppy in a basket.
Okay.
All right. And now I'm showing the gloves that I have to wear while I make the baskets, because it's 4 strands of yarn and it's a bigger hook. So, and it takes a toll on my hands, but I included you in my shout out Saturday yesterday. I got to catch that. What was I doing yesterday? David Browning. I had a busy day yesterday. Such a busy day. I had a friend over. We were masked. We were social distance. We Lysoled everything before and after. We visited. She was here at my house for 3 hours. Then I had another visitor. Same thing. We had masks. We social distance, Lysol before and after. No shoes on. Didn't touch and she was over for 3 hours. Then we went out to that outing that we were talking about, and we saw that movie.
Mhm.
So holy cow, was I tired. I was tired when I got home at 11 o'clock, but I still couldn't sleep because I was like wired with all the commotion going on. Um, so I ended up I couldn't fall asleep until like 2. And Mr. Hook, his head hit the pillow and he was sawing logs
Mhm.
immediately. In
I
fact,
was tired, but that's
I
like,
would love to show the picture that I took
no,
of you
not gonna-
taking your Sunday afternoon nap. Come on, it's an awesome picture.
No.
He fell asleep. It looked like he was diving. He fell asleep the wrong way on the couch. He was laying on I don't know. It reminded me of a toddler who falls asleep on his walker or on his high chair, like in the middle of eating. That's how you fell asleep. And I took a picture of you.
Well, I'm not going to show that. Well, talk about your basket. How long will it take you to make? How long would that make?
You know,
How many hours do you put in something like that?
I one time made a basket and I wanted to see how long it took me. So what I did was I sat and I started the basket and I pressed the stopwatch on my phone. And I didn't get up a lot, but every time I did, I would pause the stopwatch and then I would do what I needed to do. And then as I sat down, I pressed on go again. The total amount of hours. Do you want to take a guess of how many hours it took me to make? And this was one of the bigger baskets. This was the one that took about 6 skeins. So it was a giant
6
basket.
skeins, huh? What kind of is it?
Red Heart Super Saver.
Is it half double or double, triple, double?
It's all single crochet.
I don't know anything half double. But anyway, I would guess 16 hours.
No, Maribel is close. She guessed 8. 6
hours.
hours. 6 hours.
6 hours.
6 hours.
So
total.
what? That's how many hours per skein?
1.
1 hour per skein.
Yeah.
Is that fast?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask people how long would it take them to? How about everybody here? How long does it take you? If you nonstop, without break, without distraction.
Not everybody would do that stopwatch thing. You know why I did the stopwatch thing?
What?
You know what the O stands for in obsessive compulsive disorder?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what the O stands for in OCD? I just gave away the answer. The O stands for in OCD is obsessive. I'm obsessed with numbers and time and words and food and accents and geography and recipes, and I'm obsessed with things being exactly the way they should be, even though they're not, but they should be. And so I'm obsessively thinking about how that blanket right there, babe, should be folded. And it's on.
Well, how long? How many skeins is that blanket?
That blanket right there,
Mhm.
that's like maybe 20 skeins of yarn. That giant one, that giant corner to corner one.
Yeah.
We had a family from out of town come for a visit yesterday. They left about 2 hours ago. They had a barbecue and an awesome time. Yeah, I guess you've learned to appreciate little visits that you don't spend any money. It's just a tiny visit, like a coffee or something with somebody, and that was a tiny thing, insignificant before COVID. Now it's really important to have those visits, right? You really think about how much they are important, how
Yeah.
important they are.
If you remember, before COVID, you started going to this library thing to, like, people used to get together just to yarn.
Well, I used to go to my local yarn shop, and she had this stitch together on Friday mornings. That was the highlight of my week. And then I would visit you at your work, at your job. And then the next day I would have the yarn club at Hobby Lobby. So that was just like wonderful for me. But then it came to a screeching halt. And now everything's virtual. Cammy just ate pulled pork, French fries, and apples. Very good.
Oh, yes.
Is that like is that homemade or was this? It's like a to-go meal. Like, is it takeout, or is it a frozen meal? I'm just wondering. Yeah, Tiger is obsessed with numbers and dates in general. Me too. I know. Oh, David, I missed the stitch togethers. Man.
Well, that's what we do here now. This is supposed to be a stitch together. So what's
I
everyone's?
mean, yeah,
you know,
virtual stitch together.
this is what the live is for. It's supposed to be for people
How
to
come
get
I
together.
don't have any yarn in my hand?
I don't know why.
Time.
You're just, yeah, that's your problem right now. I'm gonna get you some right now.
Give me some yarn. My whip is over there, on your left. On your left.
This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. We forget.
Be careful. I know we get so wrapped up in the technology and this camera angled right and the volume and blah blah blah. And we didn't have that problem when we were doing live stitch togethers in the local yarn shop.
So tell everyone to get their stitch and let's stitch together right now.
Well, I'm not going to be on for such a long time. We got to go grocery shopping. We're running out of a lot of things.
So what do you have there right now?
I have my granny square that I'm working on with this soft and sleek yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek and low pill fiber. And I'm just, each color is one whole skein of yarn. So as you can see, it gets smaller, thinner with each color. The red is the biggest. To be honest, I didn't use all of the red, but I used all of the purple and all of the green. So, but I didn't use all of the red because the red was just getting too big. So maybe I'll do the red on the outside of this teal.
So
perhaps.
So maybe instead of live, you should just call them stitch together, virtual stitch together.
Virtual stitch togethers?
Yes.
Well, I like a better, stitch together is what the yarn shop owner called it.
Stitch together. I like that. Stitch. Even though yarn, we can call it yarn together.
Yeah, I like it. I like another name. It's stitch, and then the other word is, it rhymes with stitch, and it's a word that describes complaining. If you can imagine, stitch and itch, but I'm leaving out the first letter of that word.
So it's a female animal.
Yes, female dog.
Well, everybody, they use that. Even Dan's husband used that. I saw her group.
Dan's husband.
Yeah.
Dan's husband.
Has a group.
Dan's husband.
I mean Dan's wife.
Dan's wife.
Has a group that stitch and whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess that's popular term that people use when they have a stitch together.
I like that term, but I use that term on Facebook, and Facebook, the admin on Facebook didn't approve of it because they had a bad word in there. So, and then there's the fact that I said that I was crocheting things for the church, and they're like, no religion here. So I'm like, okay, sorry.
All right, so look at David has some comments over here. He said he hasn't tried that yarn you were using.
Wonky square sweater vest on Instagram a week or two ago. I'm working on better samples so that I can write up the pattern. Yeah, you were about to use that phrase. Yeah, you never know what YouTube is going to think about it. But I like that. So if I could think of another catchy title. Nice. I am working on a baby blanket. Pattern is from the Secret Yarnery, the Berry Biscuit baby blanket for my neighbor that is having a baby soon. My daughter and I warmed up leftover chicken and beef fajitas, Spanish rice and beans. Yay! We just had Spanish rice and beans. I actually am trying to perfect my Spanish rice. The trick is, according to my aunt, practice, practice, practice. And I guess that's right because I was working on something, and one of my crochet friends, she says, Sandy, how do you get your edges so straight? And I said, because I crochet every day. You crochet, crochet, practice, 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 make it perfect. So when I was talking about the Spanish rice, how it really doesn't come out good. And so my aunt said, you gotta practice, keep practicing. So, honey, you might be eating a lot of Spanish rice.
Well, good. That's fine. Yeah, I love Spanish rice.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like photography. Same thing with me. In bird photography, some people, I shoot the most common birds. I practice on them. I practice on gulls, seagulls in the parking lot. But practice
Practice.
makes perfect.
Maribel says there's a YouTube channel name that's called Stitch and Itch.
Stitch and Itch.
Stitch and Itch. So what I just said,
Mhm.
but leaving off the first letter. Stitch and Itch. Stitch and Itch. Yeah, because Jada and Stitches, she calls them crochet parties.
Grab your drink.
Grab your drink, crochet party.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else have a crochet along virtual thing that they're on or something right now, or that they know of? Because the bird watchers they have in our Facebook group or other groups they have podcasts or not podcasts but they have like
Videos.
video
Mhm.
where a virtual class or something like that where people just talk about their birds. So
What do they
technology is
call
great.
them?
Well, there's Zoom video meetings, I guess you could say. That's what they do.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might come up with a clever name. You
Clever
never
name
know.
for what? Stitching something?
Yeah.
So
Well, I had crochet and chat a few
Oh.
weeks ago. I labeled my live crochet and chat.
so we got to make sure. I guess maybe you have
Be
your
consistent.
What you need to do is have like an opening like Jada says, because Jada always says, grab your drink and your yarn. So say, hey, welcome. Grab your whatever and whatever.
Okay, so now my husband's directing me live on camera in front of all to see.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Stitch and each. I spend a lot of time going to other people's lives to network and try to get people to come to my channel. I'm always crocheting something when I watch lives and videos. That's the way to do it, David. That's the way to do it. I started out watching it was just Jada's lives, and I was addicted, and I binged her lives one time. And then I found lives that were actually going on live. And I would type something, and they would read my chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, they actually could see what I wrote. And that was exciting. So, and I would crochet while I would listen. So it was like a virtual stitch together. And then you discover more channels, just the abundance of people that have a channel on YouTube. And you feel bad because you can't be so loyal to every single one of them. It's hard. I just feel so much guilt about that. That I can't watch every single person's live, or even I can't possibly watch every single person's replay. I mean, I can let it run, but I can't pay full attention and work on my channel and cook my food, wash my dishes, do my laundry, live my life. It's hard. In the winter month it's not so hard, and during the lockdown it wasn't that hard. But now that we're opening up a little bit and it's getting a little warmer, it's difficult, and there's not enough hours in the day. David, you don't know what you're missing. With what? I like Secret Yarn, and of course Dana and Joe and Bago Day, and I watch you and Christina and a few others as well. Well, we thank you, David.
Well, some of the bigger, what's that one, Mikey? Crochet Crowd?
Oh, the crochet card.
He has like a big project where everybody crochets along and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, and he has a marathon too, right? kind of. So, David,
Yes,
what do you have any plans? Anything lined up for your marathon?
No sound? Is there no? Am I muted? What happened there?
I don't know. Are we still no sound? Let me see.
Take me off your mute from yours. Am I muted?
Let me see here. She's talking right now.
Hello?
No, we're not muted.
I'm muted. Okay.
You're still on.
All right. Maybe on your end, Dago, or maybe you didn't mean to tell me. But David was saying that he's never been to a Jada live, and somebody else told him. Who told him? Dina. He said, "You don't know what you're missing." She's we're kind of copying Jada, because she's on live and she's got her husband off camera, and that's kind of where we got the idea. And there's also like how Joe and Dana do it. They're on together. Sometimes Joe is off camera, and then sometimes Dana's off camera. I guess nature calls, right?
Nature calls. Speaking of nature calls, I gotta watch my birds.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah, that's what we kind of got. Well, I've listened to Jada. You listen to Jada all the time, so I'm like, oh, well, what's the big deal? He's actually directing too. I think he does because she's got all kinds of technical things, right?
yeah,
That he made, that he designed.
yeah. That's where we end the
Well,
copying.
Yeah, because I
Because-
don't. He's got like.
You're not very useful with the technology.
No, I'm not that tech savvy as him. He's
Tech
very
savvy.
tech YouTube savvy. That's why her channels were so big, because he's very,
Okay, David has an answer for your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to highlight it.
I think I asked him. Yeah. Okay, so he's got a few things lined up. Always start with announcements. Repeat them frequently. Correct, and ask whoever get. Cool. Right. Awesome. How exciting.
Yeah, I gotta have some people join me on Thursdays when you're not here. When you leave me high and dry.
I'm working. I'm putting
When you're
food
working for
on
the
your
man.
table.
And what puts food on
I'm
our?
bringing home the bacon.
We always have this joke. What puts food on our table?
What puts food on our table?
Mm-hmm. Trash.
Oh yeah.
Trash puts food on our table.
Yeah, we haven't made that joke in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband works in a garbage company for a garbage company.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like an inside joke in our company too, and like other things, like trash is cash.
Trash is cash.
Yes, because that's how we make money with trash.
I would tell the boys when they were little, garbage put food on your table. You better eat. The money comes from garbage. If it wasn't for garbage, you wouldn't have anything to eat.
And then I actually I sent a morning email to a company-wide. I mean, we're not a big company. We're under 100 people and only like 15 people in the office. So I send like an update every morning. And my greeting, hello, trashy people.
Trashy people.
You're trashy. So,
Trash.
but yeah, I mean, just going back, that's how we, I know Joe and Dana are always on together. And well, I love my wife. I want to be with her all the time. That's why I'm with her all the time.
Okay, you're getting mushy.
Yes.
If any of my relatives are out there, they know how I don't care for mushiness.
Okay, well then let me go watch my person.
Mushy. Don't be mushy.
Ooh, yeah.
I can get mushy about a puppy, though. I can get mushy. I'll turn on the mush for a puppy. Wait, what? Is it WM? What?
No, it's not WM.
Oh, no.
No.
No, AJ, it's not waste management. No. That's kind of like the Coke version of garbage companies, right?
Yeah.
So everybody refers to the pop or soda for all you out there. It's Coke, Waste management is like the Pampers name brand.
The
big
name brand,
I'm going to start my baskets and things giveaway tomorrow, accepting donations via PayPal. It's like Veronica Seals, but I'm including the baskets. All right, Daigo. Everybody go to Daigo's page when you get a chance and go on her, do her giveaway. She's accepting PayPal donations. I just discovered PayPal donations. My gosh. My best friend's dad is a retired garbage man. His wife made him put a change of clothes in the garage
That's
to
funny.
change into before he came in the house. Yeah, my husband has done that. He changes his clothes before he comes in.
Yeah, but I'm in the office now. But
Yeah, he's in
back
the
when I
office
was a
now.
driver, yeah, same thing. In fact, I was just telling Sandy about this one time.
Yes, David. Union benefits and security. Yes. Mm-hmm. What were you talking? Oh, about
one
that
time you
hospital.
went the hospital. Yeah, they were.
We have a controversy in Chicago right now, a controversial hospital that's, being on the news constantly. And my husband had gone there years ago to take their
trash.
to
See,
their-
and they're shredding.
Shredded.
So anyway, we cleaned out my company.
confidential.
My company cleaned out their storage facility, and this was in like a not so great part of Chicago. And all the materials we took out, all the boxes, all the storage boxes had rat feces and droppings, and the floors were rotted. We had to wash where we were walking, otherwise we would have
Tell them why the floors were rotted.
sunk because the rats ate the floor.
The rats
ate the floor. This is on the west,
They ate the
they ate the floor
floor.
through.
Do you remember when
So,
Gary
what-
ate our floor?
He did. So when I got in my car after work, in the parking lot of my car, in the parking lot of my work, I stripped down to my underpants and put all my clothes in a bag. And I drove home just in my undies. Imagine if I got pulled over.
That's because you were married to that German.
And it was
woman.
winter. It was winter too. It was winter time, and I went home from work only in my underpants. I didn't want to take home all that rat feces.
Because you were married to that German.
Because I was married to the OCD girl. So
Same lady, just not on the right meds for that. So it was even worse. I'm going to upload a video in a few minutes, so I'll have to go. Okay, Daigo. I'm going to upload a video later on too, either tonight or tomorrow. But speaking of uploading, I'm actually going to, this doesn't make sense. I'm actually going to call it a day for our live because 1, we have to go grocery shopping. 2, it's sunny and not windy right now. And 3, I've got to make that video talking about the giveaway before I get too tired to do it. So I'm going to say goodbye. And does everybody know what to do? Why don't you tell them what to do, babe?
stay safe
And
and be yarning.
take care and stay safe.
Well, thanks everyone. Have a nice rest of your Sunday.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping
Bye,
by.
everybody. Thanks for watching.